between Japan and Iraq was 1-0. Sorry I didn't do a preview. I'm not sure if people saw it or not, but I posted what looks like the equivalent of a Facebook update on YouTube. But basically, I had my mid-semester exam yesterday, and I was truly exhausted. Because the preceding 7 days was filled with study. So, but you know, the game has ended 1-0. There wasn't really much to talk about in preview anyway, other than Makino being called up, didn't even play, and Kagawa got injured. I think that was only found out today. So even if I did a preview, you wouldn't have known about that. So Kiyotake was selected in his place. He did an excellent job. Maeda took his spot up the top, and Inoha at centre back. So look, Japan had a bit of a sluggish start for the first maybe 10 minutes. Iraq looked quite dangerous on the counter-attack, sort of, but more importantly at corner kicks. They had one massive chance, or maybe two massive chances actually, in the first half, which really they probably should have done better on at least one of them. And their most dangerous player in the beginning was their left midfielder, I thought, who was both quicker and stronger than Komano, which is quite rare. Komano's a fairly quick and strong guy. So Komano had a tough day. He didn't play very well, Komano. He had one very good contribution, which was his throw-in for the goal, but other than that, he was a bit below his best today. But Japan got started. Their first real chances really came in the 14th minute. Two very big chances started by Okazaki. But early on in the game, there wasn't much to talk about until the goal. Iraq started, grass rolling in about the 17th minute. I think that was when it became noticeable. When a draw started looking like a very good result, when Japan started getting more on top of the game. And the only way to really stop a team grass rolling is to be winning against them, and so that's what happened. Maeda scored in the 25th minute after clever bit of work between Okazaki and Komano off the throw-in. So, yeah, 1-0 Japan. Maeda had quite a good game, I thought. And, yeah, other than that, Iraq, tactically, were set up a bit oddly, I thought. They were very, very content to sit very, very deep in their half for most of the game. I think it was only right towards the end when they really pressed Japan, and maybe a little bit at the very beginning when they pressed Japan. But other than that, they were very deep. Like Inoha and Yoshida would constantly just carry the ball deep into their half, just looking for a pass. So, and I thought that was a poor decision by their coach Zico, and I would have expected him to think of something better than that, seeing as he used to coach Japan. But Iraq in the first half, they gave Japan some troubles. Like I said, the first 10 minutes they had some dangerous corners and so on. And in the first half, they really did enough to keep Japan on their toes, especially going forward on the counter. They had numbers going forward. And there was one particular chance where Kawashima, in the 40th minute, where Kawashima had to make a very fine save. So after half-time, I was expecting more of the same, but unfortunately Iraq, well, I suppose fortunately, but Iraq really dropped off the pace after half-time. Japan just sort of assumed control, and really it was kind of a boring second half for most of it, really. Bit of an uneventful start, and really the only cool thing to happen was Yoshida's attempted overhead kick in the 63rd minute. Other than that, Japan made some half chances here and there. Honda had a great chance, which brought out a great save by Iraq's goalkeeper. And yeah, Iraq they started to tie a lot more in the second half. Zaccheroni maybe would be arguably accused of not making substitutions earlier, because just before Hosogai came on, which was in the, I think, about the 86th minute, but before then, for maybe the preceding 4 or 5 minutes, Iraq started looking a little bit more dangerous. They'd made all 3 subs. They were tiring, but Japan hadn't made any subs, and they were tiring a bit more. So Hosogai coming on for Kiyotake was much needed, which I think meant that Japan were playing with 3 central midfielders, but I'm not quite sure how that was working with the 3 attacking players. Anyway, so yeah, shortly after that the game came to a close. Very important 3 points for Japan, now on 10 points, and generally a team to qualify for the World Cup in the top 2 spots in Asia will want to need about, say, 14 points to be guaranteed. But as it's looking now, Japan, there's more than 1 foot through the door, really. And hopefully, fingers crossed, Australia versus Jordan later tonight ends in a draw. That'll probably be the best result. However, I expect Australia to win that game. They seemed quite good against Lebanon in their friendly. But who knows? Jordan might pull off a draw or even a win. As for players, Kagawa didn't start, or didn't play at all due to injury, as I quickly mentioned at the start. Kiyotake was very good as his substitute, and because really Kagawa's been quite poor for Japan in recent games, and often his ideas conflict with Honda's ideas sometime, I think. And in this game, Honda was really allowed to take center stage and just sort of run the show a little bit more, and it looked really, really good. So, I mean, I'm not advocating to bench Kagawa for that reason, but it was nice to see a bit more fluidity and see the attack centered around Honda. And he's the deserving player for that central attacking midfield role, despite what United fans seem to think. Other than that, maybe Komano was quite poor, but if Uchida is suspended next game, which I don't think he is, but if any side back is out of the next game, Komano will still be the first sub. Hopefully, so yeah, other than that, not much to talk about. Hopefully Kagawa's okay for his season at Manchester United, and hopefully Hiroki Sakai recovers very shortly. He seems to be a bit injury prone, actually, which is a worry, but yeah. Other than that, that'll do for now. Also, I've been wondering, I've missed the last 2 preview videos, but I've also been noticing that most of the preview videos seem unnecessary just because there's very little to talk about. So I was thinking maybe, and I'll do the preview videos if there's something I think is necessary to really add or talk about, or I don't know, that kind of thing, because they seem more relevant to somebody who doesn't follow the Japan team very much and is just interested in how they might set up. But for somebody that actually follows the team, it's completely useless, really. So, because the preview videos are sort of informed by the previous games, which I talk about anyway. I don't know, so if you have any thoughts on that, let me know. Other than that, I'll speak to you in the next game, which will be, ooh, that's exciting. Two friendlies in October 12th and October 16th against France and then Brazil. So that'll be exciting. So until then, I'll see you later.